Were the Raptors lucky or good last night?
What I want to know really is, where's Jay Williams this morning? Remember he said, what iconic moment did Kawhi Leonard ever have?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, only for the second time in history, the first time being Michael Jordan in an elimination game. Did anyone ever in the history of basketball in the playoffs hit a buzzer beater? The first was the Jordan shot over Craig Elo, the most iconic in the argument for most iconic shot in the history of basketball. One of the most iconic plays in the history of worldwide sports. And now Kawhi. And by the way, was it lucky or good? Who was guarding Kawhi Leonard? Ben Simmons. But it wasn't just one-on-one because they didn't guard him one-on-one. They sent double teams and traps. It was Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, an excellent defender and an elite defender. And he got around Simmons and shot the three, got a good look in Embiid's face with a shooter's touch. It was backspin, high arc, off the front of the rim, bounce, 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 and it went in. It wasn't left or right. Was he lucky or good? Kawhi Leonard, these whole playoffs. Remember I said LeBron James put the baton down because we don't see him play in the playoffs to remind us that he's actually the best player in the world as he does every year. Next time he has a chance to do that, next year's playoffs, if they make it, he'll be 152 years old. So really the baton is, who wants it? Kyrie didn't want it. Harden didn't want it. Not really. KD wanted it. Unfortunately, he got hurt. The jury is out. Freak wants it, but no one has wanted it more than Kawhi. And Kawhi right now has to be considered the best basketball player at the moment. Could change throughout the next series. At the moment, this dude is the best basketball player on the planet Earth. And the most clutch.
You pick up shots too.
So when they brought in Kawhi Leonard, they did it because last year we saw DeMar DeRozan is not good enough. He's an excellent player. Not good enough to be the best player on a championship team. So Masai Ujiri, maybe the best GM in basketball, best president of team operations in basketball, traded for Kawhi Leonard, even though it probably was going to be a one-year rental because he realized that dude is good enough to be the best player on a championship team. He was brought in for this, even if your other guys aren't helping out, even if the defensive nature of the game is such that no one's really scoring, everyone's shooting poorly. He brought Kawhi in and constructed a team around him for that moment.
But that's
not luck.
But that's not.
Who's the more clutch finals player? Would you go Kawhi or KD?
Kawhi, it's not close. Look. KD, I have seen, this is why KD needs to leave Golden State. Here's the argument. I'm saying he needs to, but here's the argument for him to leave. When KD was on a very talented Thunder team, they went into Oracle late in that game. He didn't do so good. Neither did Westbrook, but neither did KD. I mean, the team, they had a chance to get over the hump, couldn't let a team, and did it. Same season, next series, I was at both Game 7s. Stephen and I saw each other there. Both Game 7s. I knew those were going to be important. Flew on my own dime. I didn't want to go as a member of the press. I wanted to go as a fan, and I expected Golden State to win the chip. Couldn't get it done against LeBron. They got it done against KD. Then I see KD show up in Golden State. Right, by the way, and yeah, they were babies when they played in the finals against LeBron and them. They were babies, I get it. But that was some babies like KD, Harden, Westbrook. How many MVPs you need on the same team?
Not Greg Popovich, I'll tell you that.
No, that's true.
It's not Greg Popovich made the greatest coach.
That's
of all
right.
time.
But that redounds to the players' credit and benefit. Like Tom Brady wasn't going to be the greatest quarterback ever without Bill Belichick, but he had Belichick. I'm not comparing their natural talent. I'm not comparing their height. I'm comparing the players they actually are. Now, look, Kawhi was a baby before. Stephen A. religiously makes the point. Kawhi's never really been the focal point, the man, until right now. But even before he was the man, he won Finals MVP. And now he gets to Toronto, and for the first time, you are the man. And now let's look. We can't compare their careers. KD's had a better career, may retire with a better career. I'm talking about where they are right now, and how they've played under pressure in the biggest games in their career. And Kawhi Leonard, KD, hold on. Here's the big difference. KD has balled out in the finals. Always single coverage, when he couldn't lose, when the defenders couldn't leave Steph and Clay, the two greatest shooters who ever lived, right? Under those circumstances, KD goes crazy. And he may be a clutch player in addition to that. Hold on, Stephen A. But Kawhi
Kawhi, these whole playoffs, including the finals, is facing double teams and traps, and the whole defense is schemed around him, and he still gives you the most pivotal game of this season so far, the Game 4, that was the pivotal game. Kawhi gives you what? 36-12 with 4 steals and no turnovers?
Come on. But I do say, like, you use the argument sometimes about the baby team when he was with San Antonio, even though you just see. So you contradict yourself multiple times.
I gave him credit for the fact that they were babies.
You did not get down
You just used it against them.
No, I said, albeit they were babies, yeah. But when Kawhi was with the baby team, he won Finals MVP, right? Like when he was a baby.
He was a baby. Kawhi was a baby team. His team was grown men and the greatest coach.
Right.
Kevin Durant was with the team of babies.
By the way, 4-time champions at the time. He was on a team with 4 champions with 4 rings.
All I'm saying, I just think you're drinking the Kawhi Kool-Aid really. You're swimming hard. You're swimming really hard.
Let me go at this. First of all, I'm not talking about KD. KD may be a clutch player. Like, let's see, now that he's in his prime, compared to the way he was in
disrespectful
OKC.
on this man's name, man.
In OKC.
You are one
I'm not boys with him. I know he's your boy, but
first off, I don't care who's my boy.
Okay, good.
James Harden is my boy. I wouldn't allow you to be disrespectful on his name.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because he's your boy.
All these guys are my boys. I'm cool with everybody.
But does James Harden choke under pressure or not?
He has not done well under pressure.
Okay,
yes,
fine.
I'm real.
Fair enough.
I'm objective too.
I'm not saying you're not real. I'm not talking about dudes who are clutch when the deck is stacked. What I've seen is KD win his finals MVPs when there was no way his team could lose because they were the most talented team of all time. That's not what I'm looking for with dudes like this. I'll take you back in the day, like do the knowledge on somebody, right? Like watch them. I watch Kawhi when the deck isn't stacked, when they might lose against the Sixers, Embiid Sixers. I watch them
They've been one of the best teams in the East the whole year.
No doubt. I'm not saying you have.
The whole year.
Jay, you have to be on an excellent team. All the teams are excellent. But the Warriors, when KD won MVP, were the most talented teams ever, right? Then, when he's single covered on the most talented team ever, he wins MVPs. When they can't lose the series, he wins MVPs. I'm talking about when you might lose.
Is Kawhi actually a better player under pressure than the great Kobe Bean Bryant?
Yes, he is. No one had more heart than Kobe. Like, Kobe's not scared of anything. But because Kobe was the best bad shot maker who ever lived, he would take a lot of bad shots under pressure because he knew he could make them. But just look at how often he made them compared to what Kawhi is doing. Kawhi takes higher percentage shots and makes them more often under pressure than Kobe Bryant did. I'm not making it up. When you try to deride the statistics, I know you're both going to just assert that I'm wrong. But when you say, oh, just can't look at the numbers, you understand statistics are records of events. When they say in late and close games, Kobe Bryant shot inefficiently, his team got less efficient, those numbers are records of events that occurred. We could go back and watch the video, and you will see they all occurred. Kawhi Leonard, under pressure, ain't missing. He's already been a Finals MVP, and that was before he was in his prime. Kawhi Leonard is also playing defense under pressure. Like, Kawhi is one of the greatest. He's in the conversation for greatest defensive player who ever lived. You don't even really think about his offense, except right now, he's shooting 60% from the field in the playoffs. A former Finals MVP before he entered his prime is shooting 60 in the playoffs. Best offensive player, including KD, who's also in his prime, but Kawhi's not playing with Steph and Clay. So under pressure, yes, Kawhi is better than Kobe was.
Did you think that Kawhi was better than Kobe?
Was better? Better under pressure?
Or more clutch, better under pressure than Kobe? Did you think
I thought it was an open question. I think Kawhi is still ascending.
So now what Kawhi has done in one playoff series has confirmed to you that he is more clutch than Kobe Bryant. One playoff series.
What I am measuring.
Because this sounds like a case of recency bias to me.
Well, okay. Kobe Bryant, there's a big misunderstanding about Kobe under pressure. Everyone calls him the closer. In fact, it has been demonstrated, and like people who have looked at it, we all got that great feeling about him because he could make bad shots, and he did it. He wasn't scared. But in fact, he got less efficient, and his team got less efficient in the closing moments of games when Kobe would so-called take over. And that's the opposite effect that Kawhi has. So as Kawhi is asked to do more and more offensively and carry more and more of the load, I would expect for his efficiency to go down. But it's gone up, Jay. He's even more efficient than he used to be while asked to do more. And he's not playing with Shaquille O'Neal.
So I want to see Kawhi Leonard do this for another 5-6 seasons.
Fair.
And so you're telling me for this small little microcosm of the frame of work, you're comparing that against the full body of work of Kobe Bryant.
No,
you're saying that he's more clutch right now.
No,
you
you're
just said that he won
misunderstanding.
more. He got Finals MVP at an early age than Kobe.
No, you're turning it into an argument about career accomplishments. Obviously, I cannot do that.
I'm talking
with Kawhi.
about being clutch.
I'm talking about
what being clutch to me is it has to be sustained over a legitimate amount of time, and you have to own that you have to carry that weight during that same amount of time.
Kawhi hasn't done that yet. What's the point in that conversation? We're talking
you're
about what
looking
we've
future,
seen
but we're talking about have you been more
We're
clutch?
talking about what we've seen from Kawhi so far. Is that better or worse than what we'd seen from Kobe to that point in the clutch? And I'm telling you, Kawhi is a better clutch performer than Kobe. Look, Kobe Bryant, I know why people think he's so clutch in the end. First of all, totally fearless. Secondly, he could take a shot that a normal guy hits 5 or 10% of the time. He could hit it 30% of the time. So you can guard Kobe perfectly and still, like, too often it's like, damn, he hit that shot. Kawhi doesn't do that. What Kawhi does is go find himself a very high percentage shot. And by the way, he's doubled. He's doubled just like Kobe was, and he's trapped just as Kobe was, but he just finds himself a higher percentage shot. So he hits them more of the time. I want to show you the side-by-side comparison. This is in the play. By the way, and I love Jay Williams asked me, what's the big iconic moment for Kawhi? In this playoff series alone, he has so many you stop counting. Against the Sixers, against the Bucks. Look at this. This is for their careers in the playoffs. Higher field goal percentage, by far, Kawhi. Plus minus, by far, Kawhi. PER is Kawhi, and that's just offensive efficiency. Win shares per 48, by far, Kawhi, because Kobe could be a great defender when he chose to be. Kawhi is always among the greatest defenders of all time. This dude is one of the all-time clutch performers. And when you compare Kawhi at this point in his career to Kobe at this point in his career, Kawhi's been better.
First of all,
In the clutch. In the clutch.
Hold on.